Good Friday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with your in-depth video forecast analysis discussion for this Friday, the final Friday of February 2016, February 26th. And this is our final weekend of meteorological winter, as meteorological winter is December, January, and February. Now, of course, spring doesn't really officially begin until March the 20th, but there are indications here that we're going to jump into spring a little bit earlier than anticipated, and that's not bad news for a lot of people. I wouldn't say that we're not going to have a stormy period ahead, but definitely we're on the waning side now of the worst of the winter. Hopefully that's the case. Right now outside we see lots of broken to overcast conditions this morning. We have gusty winds making temperatures feel like they're in the 20s. We do have temperatures in the 20s to low and mid 30s across the region, and wind gust in the single digits, and wind gust into the teens, actually gusting into the lower 20s and even lower 30s this morning, and that's making for the cool air to feel much colder than it is. There are some snow flurries in the air. Most of them are evaporating before they are reaching the ground. There are a few observation stations in Pennsylvania that are showing some light snow across the area, mainly central Pennsylvania, but all of this is drying in the northwesterly flow from off the Great Lakes this morning as a disturbance moves through the region, and then skies will begin to clear off during later today, but the winds will continue to be gusty and the temperatures will continue on the chilly side. Watches, warnings, and advisories. We still have two rivers here, one here in northwestern New Jersey. This is the Rockaway River at Boonton. We can pull this up. Doesn't want to pull up. Okay, here we go. Here's our flood warning, which is in effect until later this morning. We have still 5.2 feet here on the Rockaway River at Boonton. Its flood stage is at 5 feet, expected to go below flood stage during later this morning. Right now, we still have a flood warning out for the central portions of, let's see where this is, the Blackwell Mills River here. And this is the flood stage is at 9 feet. 9.4 feet. The flood stage is at 9 feet, and it will continue to go under that during later this morning. Here we have some small craft advisories for the South Shore and East Ends of Long Island. Here, basically for the Long Island Sound area, we have gale warnings on the open coastal waters until 6 p.m. this evening. That's for the South Shore and East Ends of Long Island, as well as the coastal waters of New Jersey and the back bays of the Delaware Bay. Morning visible satellite this morning shows the clear to partly cloudy skies across the region this morning. Downwind the lakes, we have some scattered clouds and some snow flurries, as we have an upper level trough that is swinging through the forecast region this morning. We can see this on Doppler, and the snow plumes continue downwind of the lakes here into New York and Pennsylvania, most of these dying out before they reach into the Poconos and northwestern New Jersey. On the aviational weather deck for today, basically VFR conditions in place, scattered to broken clouds at about 4,500 feet, becoming clear during this afternoon. Northwest winds, though, will continue strong and gusty at 25 to 35 knots, strongest in the Poconos and possibly in the vicinity of Philadelphia, too. For tonight, clear VFR conditions and broken ceilings at 15,000 feet developing towards tomorrow morning. Northwest winds under 15 knots and winds turning to the west during the day on Saturday, especially toward dawn on Saturday morning. Saturday, we continue with VFR flying conditions, west-northwest winds at 10 to 15 knots, becoming southwest and then diminishing at night. VFR conditions continue into your Sunday, southwest winds at 10 to 15 knots. Monday, also VFR, last day of the month overall with some increase in clouds. A cold front moves through later in the day. However, moisture looks limited for much of the day, and shower activity too will remain basically to the north. Southwest winds warm us up a little bit at 10 to 20 knots, becoming northwest after the frontal passage. Tuesday, we go back to VFR overall, light and variable winds becoming light and southerly. So not a bad looking final forecast weekend for flying out there in the month of February here in New Jersey and New York, Philadelphia metro area. Newark right now 34, dew point 19, humidity 54%. The wind is just almost west at 22, gust to 28. Makes the wind feel like 22 outside, broken ceilings at about 4,400 feet, VFR conditions in place. Philadelphia this morning looking A-OK, 36, dew point 15, humidity 42%. The wind is northwest 20, gust to 32, makes the wind chill feel like 25, and we have broken clouds at 4,600 and 5,500 with VFR conditions in place. Surface analysis this morning shows our deep storm system entering into Labrador right now with a backdoor cold front coming through this morning, breezy conditions here with our isobars so tightly packed, but it's going to decrease in intensity as the low pulls away. A surface trough moves through the region late this afternoon, and some downwind lake effect snow showers, but mostly clearing skies for our forecast region. And high pressure continues to build in from the south and from the west through the weekend on Saturday morning as another weak surface trough moves across the region, but high pressure and ridging continues to build up from the southwest over the northern mid-Atlantic region for the weekend, and this means dry conditions and a gradual warm-up in temperatures. It's going to be chilly today, but temperatures will gradually warm as we head into Saturday and Sunday, with temperatures climbing back into the 40s and even lower 50s by Sunday. Temperatures on Monday continue on the warm side ahead of a cold front moving through the Great Lakes region into New York and southern New England here. This will be associated with a very little moisture here, just some clouds and just a passing flurry or so, or rain shower or so. And we wait for the next storm system here to get going across the central plains here. By the time we get into Tuesday, a warm front moving through the region, getting close and over the forecast region on Wednesday morning. Most of the rain staying to our west, but let's face it, we could be dealing with another quick-moving system as we enter the Wednesday time frame. That low moves off the coast. Brief high pressure begins to build in early on Thursday, and then another storm system rapidly passes to our south with more moisture associated with it for later on Thursday night and Friday. But rather benign forecasting coming up, except for the midweek period, which could turn out to be quite stormy indeed. GFS forecast into motion here is our high pressure building in across the forecast region through the weekend with gradually warming conditions. The next chance of any precipitation would come on Monday afternoon, and even that looks weak as most of the moisture remains across the St. Lawrence River Valley area and southern New England as well. Dry conditions basically on Monday with the frontal passage, and then brief high pressure builds in across the forecast region. Again, here comes our next storm system, similar to the one we had, perhaps a little bit further to the west than the one we just went through. With a very heavy rain 2 days ago, and this would be for early in the morning on Wednesday. As this front moves through, it's neutrally tilted here, and that could mean some very moderate to heavy pockets of brief heavy rain crossing the forecast region, even an isolated thunderstorm. We'll be monitoring this because this is during the daytime hours, so the convection could even be a little stronger than the one we just went through 2 nights ago. And that moves rapidly off the coast, and chilly air follows on Thursday and Friday with dry conditions of next week, first full week of March here, and then another disturbance, another clipper moves rapidly by on Friday night, early Saturday morning, and then another clipper or weak low pressure area here across the Delmarva gets into New Jersey with rain by Saturday night and Sunday morning of next week. Forecasted temperatures for today are in the upper 30s to around 40, which is below normal, and also with the wind it's going to feel chillier than that, in the 20s for actual real feels out there. For Saturday, temperatures again still chilly but warming, generally in the low to the mid 40s across the region. We begin to warm it up on Sunday with temperatures climbing well into the 50s across the region. Could hit 60 in the Philadelphia I-95 corridor. That's good news. And by the time we get into Monday, temperatures again either side of the mid-50s across the forecast region. Tuesday looks relatively warm too. Temperatures continuing in the low to the mid-50s across the forecast region. Wednesday afternoon, ahead of the front, here comes the warm air. Temperatures will still be running in the low to the mid-50s across the region. Then we cool it down by the time we get to Thursday after the storm system departs. Temperatures begin to fall just slightly into the low 50s and basically some upper 40s across the forecast region as well, and all of these are near normal temperatures excepting for today. So for everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You have a great weekend. We'll see you bright and early on Monday morning.